Good morning, children. Today we start with the first chapter of science, matter in our surroundings. The question which comes is, what actually is a matter? If you want to understand it, we'll have to find out what are the things that you find around in the nature. As you see, it is written that the air we breathe, the food we eat, the stones, clouds, stars, anything you name, even a particle of sand if you talk about, is nothing but a matter. The matter is a term which has been given by the scientists. Scientists are referring it to as a matter. All these things which you see around are referred to as a matter. Now this matter is, if any of these things if you think about, you'll find that it requires some space and it has mass. So you can define matter as anything which has space, which occupies space and has mass, is referred to as matter. Now, in the earlier times, the Indian philosophers, they tried to classify matter in the 5 basic element form, and they referred to as Panch Tattva. What is Panch Tattva? 5 elements. Which are those 5 elements? Air, earth, fire, sky and water. According to them, everything living or non-living is made up of these 5 elements. Even the Greek philosophers agree to the same. But the modern scientists, they try to classify matter based on their properties. These properties are physical and chemical. So, when we have understood that the matter is something which can be classified, the question comes, what actually is matter made up of? Well, the matter is made up of particles. What are these particles? We'll try to take up an activity which is mentioned in the book. We can take a similar activity also and then try to find out. What is the activity about? Activity 1.1 says, you take 100 ml of water in a beaker. And if there is no beaker, you can also go for any transparent container, say a glass will do. And instead of 100 ml, you can consider half the beaker of water or half the container of water, and try to dissolve salt or sugar or any soluble substance in it. Here, salt or sugar is considered. You will find that whether you stir it or not, after some time, the salt and the sugar, salt or sugar which you have added will not be visible. What does it mean? Well, it has disappeared. You can't say disappear, that is not technically correct term in science. Instead, you can consider that in between the salt particles, that means in a beaker, if you consider a beaker over here, in the beaker, water, so if water particles, you can draw it in this manner. These you call as the water particles. The salt which you have added, those particles will be smaller. So they try to occupy the space in between the water particles. So if the salt occupies the space in between the water particles, you finally won't be able to see the salt. It mingles. That is what we call as solubility. Salt or sugar dissolves into the water medium by occupying the space between the water particles. So the particle of salt is so small that it can be accommodated within the particles of the water. So this itself signifies how small the particles are. So if you look into the picture which has been shown over here, you find that the salt and the water will mingle into each other and finally it becomes a salt solution. If sugar is taken, it would be a sugar solution. There is another activity which indicates how small these particles are. Because when you say that the matter is made up of particles, then the question comes, how big or how small the particle is. To understand it, another activity is given in which 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate is to be taken. If potassium permanganate is not available, then we can go for any colored crystals, say the watercolor. the watercolor which has gone dry, you can also consider that crystals. So that is to be taken in a beaker. Again, a transparent container will do. In that water you try to dissolve the crystals. Depending upon the colored substance, the color of the solution will become accordingly. So here we have gone for a potassium permanganate, so it will become pink in color. From this 100 ml of potassium permanganate solution, take 10 ml and dilute it or pour it into a beaker containing 90 ml water, which means 10 plus 90 will give you 100 ml of solution. 10 ml of solution from the prepared beaker in which you have already prepared potassium permanganate solution. From that you are taking 10 ml and then you are adding it to 90 ml of water. That becomes 100 ml of solution. Again take up 10 ml from the second beaker and then mix it with 90 ml of the third beaker, 90 ml of water. So it will come up to 100 ml. Further, again take 10 ml from the third beaker and add it to the fourth beaker containing 90 ml. That again makes it to 100 ml. So each time it is 100 ml, but what is the difference that you notice in all these beakers is the intensity of color becomes fainter every now. It becomes faint, faint and faint. Am I right? What does it show? That even in this fourth beaker there are crystals of potassium permanganate, but proportion is less, or the water molecules are more, water particles are more, and the particle of potassium permanganate is less, and that is giving it a light shade, very, very light shade. So this indicates that the particle is very, very, very tiny, very small, beyond our imagination. With every dilution, you find that the color, though it becomes light, it is still visible. So you cannot say that the particles are absent over here. Got it? So here you come to know, you can also carry out the same thing. You can go for a liquid medium instead of potassium permanganate. You can go for Dettol or phenyl solution. So where you have considered potassium permanganate in the first beaker, you can add say 1 ml of 2 ml of Dettol in the solution and then prepare that solution and then take 10 ml and dilute it with 90 ml. So as you go on increasing the beaker, as you increase the dilution, you will find that the smell can be still detected. The smell is still detected, which means that the particle of Dettol is still present in the solution in spite of number of times of dilution. So particles are very, very small, which is even beyond our imagination. Very tiny particles are present. So if you try to sum up what we have learned today, we have understood what is the meaning of matter. Matter is something which occupies space and has mass, and it is made up of particles, and the particles are very, very minute, very small, beyond our imagination. Okay, so we wind up till here because the next topic is the characteristics of these particles. Means what are the characteristics or in what way the particles behave. That we'll understand in the next video. Thank you.